BookTube. So this is a slightly different video that I'm going to talk to you about today, and I've called it Is It Just Me? And this is because I had a conversation with Eleanor about how I have certain compulsions and rules before I read a book, or how I read a book, and I just said, was asking about, oh yeah, do you do anything like that? And she just went, no. I just dive straight in. You need to make a video about that. So I thought, well, I would, and just to see if is it just me, or do any of you also have idiosyncrasies? So first things first, when I've got a book, I really do not like second-hand books that are not pristine. So I will only get a second-hand book if it's absolutely in as new condition. Otherwise I just have to buy new books. I just have a thing about it. I cannot abide any creases down the spine, and indeed I have read this book and I read a book without creasing the spine. So what I do when I get a book for the first time is I look at the front. If there's any stickers on the front, I despise them, and I have to pick them off and make it a clean area where the sticker has been. I'm realising I'm just sounding completely insane already. I then read the back, so I read the blurb, and then I will always have a look in the end papers. I always will then read about the author. This is what I have to do before I read. I then have a look at how many pages are in the book. So I have to work out how many pages are in the book. I then have a look at how those pages are divided. So is it long chapters? Is it short chapters? Has it got, sometimes they have part 1, part 2, part 3. So I read all of that. Then I get to the front, and I don't read the all the quotes and things that they put on from other people. So that's one thing I don't read. But what I do read is I tend to skim through the publishing information to see when it was published and first published and what edition it is. So I do that as well. I always read the dedication, and I always read the list of books that the author has done themselves. I then select a bookmark that will go with the book, and it has to be a proper bookmark, not a tatty old receipt, and absolutely no bending of pages. And then I will begin to read, and I can only start to read it when I've done all that. And like I said before, I do not crack the spine in any way as I read. And also one thing I do is I smell the book, and actually this one smells particularly fabulous. I do a similar thing with the hardback books. I tend to be a leaver on of the dust jacket on the hardback book, just because it looks so pretty. On odd occasions I have taken it off because, but most of the time I tend to leave the jacket on. But I do exactly the same procedure with a hardback book as well. Yeah, so Eleanor just thought that would be quite interesting for me to put up, that I have my little rules and things, and as I read a book, I love reading the real book and seeing my progression through the book. That makes me feel happy. And yeah, I know I've got issues. So is it just me, or do any of you have any little quirks as well that you do when you read a book? Let me know. I'd like to know if is there anyone out there? Am I alone in this? And is there anybody else who's maybe even a bit weirder than me? So let me know what you think of this, and I will see you all soon. BookTube, keep reading. Bye!